Hello, Gemini star family. This is the Mixtape Mystic, and this is your July 2023 general reading for the sign of Gemini. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Feel free to check your other placements as well. We're going to get started with your spread here, Gemini. We're breaking it down just like we did last month, where we're going to have 4 different columns representing each week of the month, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. Last month there were some really interesting energies for you, so I'm curious to see sort of how this story progresses. We're getting off to a pretty suspended start so far with the Hangman. Just a reminder, Gemini, I do have personal readings open now. You can book one through my shop, and I promise you I'm not being deceptive regardless of, or despite the 7 of Swords popping out so violently. I really do have readings in my shop for you. You can buy. Also, thanks everyone for the subs and the donations and everything. Not like donating subs, that'd be delicious, but you're picking up what I'm putting down. Ooh, 10 of Cups at the end. My goodness, Gemini. You're showing up here in your major arcana form with the Lovers in the 3rd week, which will be around the time Leo season starts. So this is really interesting for you, Gemini. I'm going to pull a clarifying oracle for the first week here from the Prism Oracle deck. See what kind of energy we have for you. Oh yeah. Oof. Big time out energy, huh? Okay. All right, so the first week here of July, Gemini, you have the Hangman clarified by the Anger card. The Hangman is often a card that talks about needing to see things from a new perspective. With it being clarified by Anger, I'm really picking up on, and this is really interesting too, I don't usually pick up this much on the red that is in the pants of the Hanged Man, and the blue tunic. I'm noticing that contrast and thinking of divine feminine, divine masculine kind of energies, especially with this Anger feeling just like a very much This is kind of an interesting energy to pick up on. I feel like for some of you, and this might not resonate for all of you, but I feel like maybe here in the middle of something that is really pushing your patience quite a bit. And whether this is a relationship or whether this is something to do with work, it's yet to really be determined. But however it resonates for you, I feel like you've kind of felt yourself in this timeout, kind of, and maybe your hands are tied, literally or figuratively, and you're just trying to figure out sort of how to emotionally, oh wow, that just flew out, how to emotionally compartmentalize what's going on around you. Getting a little bit tongue-tied too. This is interesting. So yeah, for those of you that doesn't resonate, I'm also picking up heavily on just like the need to reflect on something that has recently come to your attention is more bothersome to you than maybe you were allowing yourself to see. That might be more so the minority of you, but it's a really interesting start of it. It also makes sense to me just because we're in Cancer season now. And it can be like a really emotionally charged time. This also makes a lot of sense actually now as I'm processing this more astrologically, because we are currently, at least when I'm filming this at the end of June here, June 29th, we are at step 7 degrees Cancer, and we're around the time I post these, around the 1st, we're going to be right in this energy of probably the 9th degree, around the 9th degree of Cancer. And 9 is a very action-oriented degree number. It's one where we have already kind of sensed our way through things with this Neptune energy, and we have made a decision on something, and now 9 is when we move forward with it. It's very Mars dominant, and anger can be a motivational force, kind of. So I feel like you're in this kind of pause right now. You're receiving some downloads, and you are trying to ground this energy into your body, because anger is not a bad emotion. It is just an emotion that is, it's like saying fire's bad. It's like fire's not bad. Fire's an incredible tool. Just because it can hurt you and it's really unwieldy at times doesn't mean that it's bad. Anger is kind of a similar energy in that sense. So, moving on to the second week here, I see that you have the 7 of Swords, and it's clarified by the Trust card. This Trust card keeps coming out for all the signs this summer, it seems. But anyways, with the 7 of Swords, this does talk about deception. Sometimes it's deception from ourselves to ourselves. Sometimes it's somebody around us. There's a lot of different stories I've heard about this character with the 5 swords, but notice that he is only carrying 5, and he's leaving 2 behind kind of in haste. It's clarified by the Trust card, so I feel like in this second week, some of you are going to be in a position where you are needing to leave something behind. And the universe is asking you to trust this process. If it's related to the first week here, then this could be something that you've been thinking about for a long time, and this has been very emotionally charged for you. And the forethought aspect of the Hangman is really coming into my attention with the 7 of Swords, in the sense that I feel as though some strategy is being developed in regards to how to handle a very difficult situation, where you might not feel as though you have the ability to handle it completely open and honestly. And I feel as though, and I'm picking up on several different energies here, but I feel as though for someone this means kind of protecting your ideas, protecting your plans, not really talking about what it is that you're doing, so long as it's not something that is harmful or malicious towards anyone. Just kind of protecting the beginning stages of maybe something that you're trying to manifest or something. And in that sense, it's more so you're not being deceptive around what it is that you are or aren't doing. You're just being selective in regards to, who you're letting in on this thing that you've been kind of weighing. And again, I'm not encouraging deceit in any regard, especially if it's if it results in the pain of somebody else. But anyways, kind of moving onward in this, you have in your third week, you have the Lovers card, which is your card, Gemini, and it's clarified by the Rest card. So this is as we are getting into the beginning of Leo season. And I know for myself, as a Gemini rising and Gemini moon and Mercury and Jupiter, and my sun is a progressed Gemini, so not my child, I don't have a child, but like my sun sign, my progressed sun sign is a Gemini. But I feel this hard, especially because Leo season is one of my favorite seasons. I feel like there's always just a really wonderful energy kind of around, and it's that end of summer kind of a vibe. Really powerful in regards to experiencing certain things set in motion, like with August 8th, with the Lionsgate portal. I've had some crazy experiences with that in the last couple of years. So I really feel like what this is saying, kind of a general energy I'm picking up on for a lot of you, is that as we get into Leo season, this is going to be a time where you're really showing up in your major arcana form, which essentially I'm interpreting as just, bad boss mode. Whenever you show up in your major arcana in one of your readings, I really tend to interpret that as you experiencing some point of personal ascension or enlightenment that really brings you into alignment with sort of the ethos of your zodiac. It's clarified by the Rest card, which I really am interpreting as, and this has been coming up kind of a lot for their different signs this summer, but I feel like this is talking about the way to get in touch with your power is not achieving your way to it, because you can't. Sometimes it takes almost slowing down to a stalt. A stalt? Interesting. I was going to say a stall or a halt. What is a stall? I'm trying to think. A stall is something, isn't it? If anyone knows, drop it in the comments. Maybe I'm just fumbling over my words. I kind of felt like I was picking up on something there. But coming to a complete halt and being in total stillness to the degree, developing an awareness of your breath, experimenting with intentional breathing patterns, things that connect you to your body. This is what's ultimately going to connect you to your spirit, because your spirit resides in your body. And oftentimes we get caught up in our intellectual, cognitive processes, and it's really easy for our consciousness to live there. And I've found personally that when I do any kind of activity that focuses on embodiment and then closing the gap between the mind-body connection, that is really where I feel spirit speaking to me most. So I feel for a lot of you Geminis, this is really about, and coming off of the second week here, this makes a lot of sense to me, because this is something big that you've been sorting through at the beginning of July here. This is really, I really get a sense that this energy that you're bringing into the reading for most of you is not just, it's not a small thing. Like, this is kind of a big decision that has been demanding your attention and your time to really thoroughly assess sort of how to handle whatever the situation is. And you're being asked to trust that what you're doing is enough. Even if you go back for 7 swords and you're walking away with 5, figuratively speaking, trust that what you're doing is enough, and that you have enough, and that you are being divinely looked after. Because as you are entering this third week, this is more of a time for you to be out of this energy. Oh my gosh, okay, I just realized too, this is the point where the nodes shift. The lunar nodes of fate are shifting into the Libra Aries axis, and they're coming out of the Scorpio Taurus axis. So that is just it happens every 18 months or so, and it's heavy energy to churn. And even if you don't have other placements in those, that axis, everybody has those houses represented in their astrological chart in some way or another, so that energy is present for you. So everyone, whenever the nodes shift, everyone really feels it collectively. It's like putting on a different color lens almost of consciousness for the next 18 months. So the last time it changed was kind of towards the very end of 2021, I think. So think back to then. because I really sense that for a lot of you, this has been a heavier energy coming off of this Scorpio and South node, because that's having to do with releasing a lot. And this is what this is about, I'm sensing, because as the nodes shift, you're coming into your power, showing up in your major arcana, and it's, you're you're also kind of being granted rest as a not a prize, but you've been doing a lot of shadow work. If you're watching this, I have no doubt that you've been doing a lot of shadow work, and I applaud you, because it's not easy. Not everyone is doing it, but it's necessary, because the more that we alchemize our own trauma and integrate experiences that maybe have been difficult for us, that we've held in our bodies, that program our subconscious thinking, as we heal these parts of ourselves, we raise our own frequency, energetically speaking. And the more people that are doing that, it lifts up kind of the collective bandwidth. So the work that you're doing is not just for you and for your lineage, although that is a huge part of it. This is really for everybody. This is for the collective. This is the divine work that you are doing. By healing yourself, you're healing the world as a byproduct. And I think that's really driving on this third week, is a big self-care theme, because you have to heal your own wounds before you can really make a difference in the way that you desire. In your fourth week, incredible, Gemini. You're really, you're flipping this big hurdle that you get over after this nodal change. The flavor of the last 2 weeks of July for you are going to be sweet. This is a Sour Patch Candy kind of month for you. First it's sour, then it's sweet. It's very much that vibe. And I can't think of anything that's more Geminian than a bag of Sour Patch Candy. So honestly, I'm here for it. Sign me up. It sounds delicious. In your last week, you have the 10 of Cups. Oh, fulfillment, happy. Not just happy on your own, happy with wonderful people around you that you love and trust. For some of you, this is, you will be hearing something about a job offer or a creative project that you're just really hoping is going to take off. It's going to be some good news. You have the determination card here as a clarifier. I feel like the hard work you've been doing, both on a soul level, like we've been talking about, working through this karma. It's a little bit of a finish line here, and then you have a reprieve from this heavier energy and the determination that you've had through the soul work you've been doing. As this weight frees up, you will feel lighter and stronger, and the determination is going to take you to a wish fulfillment, whatever that is for you, and however that resonates. Because it's kind of like when you've been trying to, have you ever been at the beach and you're trying to run through the water when it's up to your thighs or your hips, and you're just, especially if you're out there all day trying to do it, and then you get back on the land and you're like, this is easy. It's very much that kind of energy. Or if you've been if you've ever worn a weighted vest training for something, and then suddenly you take it off and you're like, oh wow, just by comparison, this is now, it's the same muscle memory that you have, but suddenly a lot more ease by default. And I feel like that's the energy of this last week in July. So no matter what the first couple of weeks bring for you, Gemini, this is really good because it ends with a beautiful twist and a lot of really wonderful things coming up for you. As I say, you get the Cosmic Egg card, which is, in my opinion, the best card in the entire Animal Spirit deck. I forget, some sign got this last month. If it was you, then dang, on a streak. This is the blurb for it. The element is ether, or spirit. Completion, harmony, the infinite within the finite. The cosmic egg is the final card in the Journey of the Animal Spirit deck, and it represents the unfolding of cosmic consciousness. This state emerges after we have tread the path for quite some time, and through self-effort and grace we experience self-realization. A sense of contentment and oneness spontaneously arises within us, and the veils of our self-limiting beliefs are lifted. When the essence of the cosmic egg has not been activated, we may feel as if we will never get there, or that we travel alone, disconnected from others. Even if our encounter with this card is brief, appearing as a momentary glimmer or flash of interconnectedness, its potent energy stays with us. The cosmic egg is a remedy for the fragmentation of modern life. It's through the power of this card that we are reminded of the cosmic contract written at the beginning. We hold on to life, and life holds on to us. The journey is complete, but it does not end. It's associated with the 7th chakra, which this is more of like a 6th chakra kind of a color with the trust card, but I'm really drawn to this. This is very spiritual energy, getting into purple and pink and violet hues. So also a background in the Hangman card. So definitely like huge spiritual things happening for a lot of you Geminis. And just like I was talking about with the nodal shift towards the end of the month, you're gonna feel this karma settled. Probably in a really distinct way. Whatever it is for you, it's going to be one of those energies where you kind of wake up sometime this week, in the 3rd week here of July, and you just find yourself thinking and feeling very differently about whatever it is that you're dealing with. So I'm just going to get a moon mantra card for you for this month, and you have, I teach people how to treat me. It's really big with this rest, like I'm talking about. Being in your spiritual power is knowing how to prioritize getting into your body, like I mentioned. Somatic practice. If you want to be connected on your spiritual path, get connected with your body. I can't really say anything more profound than that, but it's profound enough. So thank you, Gemini. I love you. I'll see you next time.